All right, Frank, get out of here. All right, howdy, welcome back. I got the F-250 here today, and the goal of this attempt is to swap out the worn out front and rear shocks. I'm only gonna do the fronts in this video. When I first bought the truck, I asked the owner, what would be the first thing you'd replace? And he mentioned the shocks that are on here. I mean, I don't think they're 100% original, but they're not in great shape. The bushings are kind of shot, and trying to bring this truck kind of back up to speed as far as maintenance wise, and that's gonna be one of the first things that I feel like we should do. So I got everything we need. Frank, hey, knock it off. I popped the lug cover off. You're gonna want to be careful with that, not to scratch it up, break it too much. Those are kind of hard to find. Tool set, impact jack, big jack to get the front up. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this wheel off. The shocks aren't hard, but it's always a little bit harder on a bigger truck like this. Everything's a little more heavy, sometimes a little more rusty, and just a little more pain in the ass. So we'll give her a shot and see how it goes. All right, get the lug nuts off. Be careful on the threads, not to scrape them up too much. It's a heavy wheel, but definitely not as heavy as the one on Land Cruiser. All right, so that's what she looks like. It's a good chance to check your pads and rotors. Looks pretty good on this one. Next thing we're gonna do is get these bolts loose. Might not be able to use an impact for it, and then try to get the new shock in. All right, now I went ahead and hit this with some PV Blaster. I don't think this has been off in a very long time. I wanted to show you also real quick what I put on here. So these will be the front part number for the Bilstein. These are the 76 or 4600s. Kind of a medium, all heavy duty shock upgrade. I was gonna do the 5100s, but my truck's not lifted, so this is what we're gonna run with for right now. So we're gonna let that soak for a little bit and then probably hit it with the breaker bar. I don't wanna strip those bolts out with the impact, so we're kinda gonna do it old school. All right, so here was in there before. This looks like some KYBs. They're actually not in as bad of condition as I thought they were. They do have plenty of compression left in them. But again, they're old, and these bushings didn't look too great, and I have no qualms with swapping them out for some fresh ones. So we're gonna slap the new ones in and get it all bolted back up. All right, so she's in there, and I don't know how I'm gonna even edit this video. That was a massive pain in the ass. Man, I'm not a totally out of shape person, but it took pretty much everything I had to shove this shock into place. And yeah, I'm gonna take a break before I do the other side. That was a lot. It's tough doing this kind of stuff in your driveway. What I did, I lowered the truck to give myself a little more space between the top and the bottom bracket to allow me to shove it up in there. But now I'm gonna go eat some lunch, put the tire back on, and hit the other side. But it looks good. It looks a little crammed in there. We'll see how the truck sits after it's all back on the ground. All right, so, man, I after all that, and I showed you in the last clip what I was doing. So this box said with the correct front shock part number, with the shock that was actually in it was a rear. So I just fought for about an hour and a half trying to shove a rear shock in the front. So make sure you check the actual part number on the equipment before getting it in there. So this is the actual correct front shock. It's the 7.9. I can put it in by myself by hand. So I already got the top bolt in. I'm gonna set this up real quick and slam the other one in. Oh man, that was, again, I've done shocks before, but that was unreal. I should have stopped, looked at the part number on the actual part before continuing. But live and learn. So that's sat down in there pretty much first try, actually. Threads be down. And it's in there. We're gonna go ahead and tighten that up and man, knock out the other side. That was quick. All right, so she's in there now. I think I've learned a lesson or two. It's definitely, oh man, definitely pay a little more attention to the parts that I'm dealing with before diving into stuff. And this was supposed to only take about 30 minutes. I've been out here for about an hour and a half. Not so much a waste of a Saturday, but that's sometimes the issues you encounter when you're doing DIY stuff. But shocks look good. I'll do the back eventually. I'll do this side in a little bit, but yeah, I'll hopefully it'll ride a little nicer and you know, benefit from some better bushings and a little better setup. All right, here's the driver's side. I just want to show you one quick trick that I think will help. Obviously this side went in about 30 seconds, unlike the other side. Now they got the right shock in, but after you get the top one in, so you do the top one first, you get the bottom bolt in, and usually if you get, like my truck's on a little bit of an angle, so you'll get the bolt halfway through, and then it's not really aligned with the with this side of the bracket. So if you get a wrench, you can kind of shove it in there and push it up, and that'll allow you to hammer it the rest of the way in. So got that in. We're gonna get things buttoned up and all back together. All right, so I'm exhausted and that sucked. Can't really do anything about it. Like I said, I probably should have double checked the part number on the piece beforehand, but we're all in now. Looks pretty good. Get the truck on the ground, and yeah, it's coming together. I'm gonna go take it for a spin, see if I recognize any difference. All right, take it on the test road here. It's a pretty terrible road by my house. You know, I had a little bit of knocking noise up front, and I wasn't sure if it was from the bad, not so great bushings or the shocks or something else in the front end. And I'm not hearing it anymore, but oh man, it's just terrible. Yeah, but you know, it's a lot less harsh, I think. And yeah, the ride seems a little more compliant, a little less harsh. Again, I'm not towing with this thing every day. It needs to have some type of level of comfort. I don't need it to ride like a Cadillac, but you know, something a little better than a Mack truck would be ideal, and I think I might have accomplished that with these. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. Again, I'm definitely keeping this truck, so if you want to see more updates, I'll do the rear shocks in another video. Yeah, keep doing bits and pieces while I can, without completely breaking the bank on the diesel F-150. So, until next time.